Welcome to our series, Moving America Forward. Each week we'll be focusing on America's entrepreneurs as they take us to new roads, new opportunities, new ways to fill the gaps left by today's failing companies. Our series will be looking at that and a lot more. So come with me and watch as the entrepreneurs of our nation move into the future.
And I'm Doug Llewellyn here in our studios in Los Angeles with our guest today, who is the president of a company named American Electrical Inc., which is headquartered in Richmond, Virginia. His name is Tom McCormick. Tom, welcome. Nice to have you with us today.
Thank you, Doug. Glad to be with you.
I want to point out that this company is a provider of industrial electrical components, and we'll get into that in detail. But first, Tom, a little while ago you had a chance to answer some questions from William Shatner. Let's pause and take a look at a brief portion of that now and see just how it went, okay?
Yes.
Now let's watch.
You are certainly in an interesting business, but take a moment to describe to me exactly what you do and who you do it for and how it helps move America forward.
Mr. Shatner, we help move America forward by marketing and distributing the vital electrical components that help run the industrial world we live in. Our service is fast, reliable, and our products save our customers time, space, and money.
You know, that was really very, very interesting. As I understand it, you distribute electrical products that are unique and really, when you come right down to the bottom of it, they help run the world. It really is that important.
The industrial world, yes, absolutely.
All right. And they're simple things, at least simple looking, like this. What do I call this?
That's a DIN rail.
A DIN rail. You're going to have to explain to me what it does, because this is key. This is a very big key. Let me hand this to you.
Actually, DIN rail is a piece of precision steel.
Right.
And the steel is got a standard width of 35 millimeters.
Okay.
And that allows for all the electrical components to have a DIN rail mounting foot, basically.
All right.
I'm going to show you, this is a terminal block. All right. And much like the wire nut that you would use in your house to connect wires, in the industrial world, you use a terminal block.
Okay.
And so, Doug, what you do when you mount the terminal block on the DIN rail, you actually, to make the wire connection, you actually put the wire into the terminal block and you have a connection on one side of it. Of course, the other wire would go into the other side. Okay. And then it would go out to your controls or would come back to your controller.
Okay. It looks simple. It's a beautiful picture. Now you can mount a number of different components on that.
Absolutely.
I mean, you've got a bunch of them right here
exactly.
on the desk in front of you.
So not only do you have terminal blocks, you've got things that protect control circuitry, like circuit breakers.
Okay.
In your home, you have circuit breakers. They are commercial circuit breakers. These are industrial breakers. They're a little bit different. Again, you mount the breaker onto the DIN rail the same way you mount the terminal blocks,
right,
and then make your connections via screw clamp connections on either side of the circuit breaker.
It looks so simple.
It is simple. It really is. And then other folks like to have fuse holders. Okay. And the fuse holder would be snapped onto to the DIN rail in much the same way and make connections on either side of it much the same way as the circuit breaker.
So these are, historically, these were all independently screwed in somewhere, right?
Exactly.
In a box or on a wall or whatever?
You know, Doug, the old way of doing things in America was to take that device with that had the 4 holes in it, and then you drilled 4 holes and you put the screws and nuts in the cabinet, and you put every component and every device in the cabinet in that fashion. Took a lot of time, took a lot of labor. The DIN rail really revolutionized the way that we make connections and the way that we design and install our control cabinets today in America, and for that matter, throughout the world. So when you mount the DIN rail in the cabinet once, then you snap on your components, just as I've showed you here, in that fashion, depending upon what your design calls for. And it makes it very easy and safe.
You have your own cabinet here next to you. Why don't you show me that? This is an example of a cabinet where everything has already been mounted in. The camera can get a pretty good shot of this. And explain to me how this would function now. Everything's already inside.
Yeah, this is a cabinet showing basic functions of that we have today. The green terminal blocks are ground terminal blocks, so you can actually take your wire and connect it to the DIN rail and establish a ground, which then flows through to the equipment grounding of your system. These are just feed-through terminal blocks like I showed you in the last assembly, which you put one wire in and then a wire goes back out to or from your control system. And then we've got 5 fuse holders here. And these fuse holders are basically up to 32 amps. You put the fuse in, you close the little door here, and of course, everything is finger safe. Back in the day, which we were talking how it used to be, we have open terminals. You could get shocked. It was really not a good design safety-wise. This has eliminated that. So it's made things a lot easier. You can snap on the components very easily and quickly. Saves a lot of time. You can see these devices are actually a lot smaller than what used to exist. So it's saving space, and ultimately it's saving the customer money.
Now you are a provider of this, and you sell to distributors.
Yes, that's right. We're set up like a manufacturer would be set up. We deal with companies, mainly in Europe, that are really first and foremost experts in their field, whether it be a fuse holder or whether it be a breaker or a terminal block. They're really good at what they do, and we've partnered with them to be their marketing arm in North America. They come to us. I've been in the business a long time, over 25 years. Kind of know where the bones are buried, so to speak. So I've been out there, know where to go, know who to talk to, know how to market the product so that they use us as their marketing and distribution arm.
Has this DIN rail become really kind of universally accepted here in the U.S.? It started abroad, right?
It did. It started in Germany back in the 60s and really brought to America in the mid-70s. Really got some legs in the 90s, and it is really taking over the way we do design and installation in America.
And it seems to me it would simplify things. And not only that, makes everything safer.
It absolutely makes everything safe. You know, we have the old barrier strips where you have the 1/4-inch screwdriver and the open terminals with the fork lugs, et cetera, or the spade lugs. And, you know, people can get injured, and people have been injured from that. And, you know, if you want to do business outside of the United States, which I'm sure a lot of people want to do that, you have to conform to the European standards in this case.
Explain to me what your thermocouple terminal block is.
Okay. Our thermocouple terminal block,
this is pretty interesting here,
is a block that we branded. There's a couple ways to measure temperature, process temperature. You can use a thermocouple, or you can use a thing called an RTD.
Okay.
This is for thermocouples only. Type K thermocouple, for instance. We sell 2 different types, Type J and Type K. The beauty about this terminal block is that when you connect a thermocouple to it, and your thermocouple is now going out to the process that you're monitoring. So that signal comes back to this, and this allows you to extend that thermocouple off to your control system, et cetera, et cetera. Well, in the intermediate cabinet, where a technician or an electrician or an instrument person would come and do calibration and controls, et cetera, they can actually come to this terminal block.
Now watch this. This is interesting.
And plug into the terminal block. So we have a connection into the block like no other. The other side of the connector then would go to the technician's device, his handheld device, and read the process temperature, make any calibration, troubleshoot, inject, read a signal, and of course inject a signal back into the controller if necessary.
So there's a huge advantage with
that. Very versatile terminal block here, and there's only a few people who do it like we do it.
Let me ask you something. A lot of people may not know what this really is used for. I mean, I know it's a control, but what's it controlling?
So it doesn't really control. What it does is it monitors. Okay, a thermocouple is really a device. If you picture somebody making cookies on a conveyor belt, and the cookies are coming down the conveyor belt, and you want to make sure you don't burn them. So you're monitoring the temperature in that conveyor, in that oven, and make sure that it's being set at the proper temperature. So thermocouples would be constructed inside of that oven, and that process signal comes back here, and then eventually goes to the controller that says, maintain 350 degrees, you know, speed up the process or slow it down.
So it's an important, ingredient.
Oh, yes.
Who are your customers?
We sell to the top 6 of 10 electrical and electronic distributors in the world, as well as large regionals, medium-sized regional distributors of electrical and electronic products, as well as the small mom-and-pop shops that are all over North America.
You know, I want to point out something here. If we can get a shot of this, I have a copy of your catalog. Now, this is, I know you're very proud of this because you put a lot of time and a lot of effort into this, but this is a catalog of their products. American Electrical has pictures of a lot of the products. But inside, if you were to leaf through this, hopefully you can see that there are just hundreds and hundreds of different electrical products, and you have all the details and you know, explanations of what they're used for.
It took a lot of time, Doug.
It's a lot of time goes into this. So
and a lot of money.
Yes, I can
Quite an
see
expense.
that. Tell me, you have something really unique too, your company. I know it's a small company, but you do have core beliefs that drive you.
Yes.
What are they?
Yes, well, we have an acronym that we call FAST. And FAST is the underlying word that says do it quickly. But also it means F, it means be flexible. So I came from a large company and a small company. DuPont was the large company. And as you know, things get pretty compartmentalized in a larger company. You know, if somebody's out or whatever, I didn't want to have a company where we couldn't ship anything because a certain person was out, or we couldn't buy anything because purchasing was closed.
But
or
the point is, the key thing, and we're running out of time, is that you respond fast.
Absolutely. Do it accurately, we do it with speed, and we do it as a team.
Well, that's the whole story of the success of your company. You know, 25 years in the business, it really is reflected in what you say to us. I think it's a great story of a small company that's headquartered where you are in Richmond, Virginia, and we thank you so much for being here to tell us all about it.
Thank you much, Doug.
American
I really appreciate it.
You're very, very welcome.
Yes, thank you.
This organization represents companies across our great nation that embody the spirit, dedication, know-how, and can-do attitude, which has made America the great nation that it is today. And now let's present the Keeping America Strong Award.
Now it's my honor to present this prestigious award to Tom McCormick, the President and CEO of American Electrical Inc. of Richmond, Virginia, for the outstanding work that his firm is doing to help keep moving America forward. Tom, it's a pleasure to give this to you. Congratulations.
Doug, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you to Mr. Shatner and your entire team. I really appreciate it. On behalf of American Electrical and all of our employees worldwide.
Worldwide.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
That's it for another edition of Moving America Forward. I'm Bert Tenzer. Join us again as we continue to bring you the entrepreneurs who move America forward.
I'm William Shatner, and for all of us at Moving America Forward, thanks for watching.